You know what? You ain't got to do nothing, Uncle Phil. Hey, you know, ain't like I'm still 5 years old, you know? Ain't like I'm gonna be sitting up every night asking my mom, when's Daddy coming home, you know? Who needs him? Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned, didn't I? Hey, I got pretty damn good at it too, didn't I, Uncle Phil? Got through my first day without him, right? I learned how to drive, I learned how to shave, I learned how to...
One day I came home to see the face of a stranger. But the smile on my mother's face told me that this man was familiar to her. See, I'm sure it's another uncle from the never-ending list of relatives. So I greet him swiftly and attempt to escape before they get talkative, but mother stops me with a question asking, don't you remember him? See, now I'm sure it's another uncle. So I turn back and reply with an obvious lie, you know, the African line. A little bit. From when I was younger. She smiles and says, I'm glad you haven't completely forgotten your father. See, childhood years had me idolizing an absent dad. Cause she told me you were abroad and soon to return with present-filled bags, and when you were home I'd only catch a glimpse of you at daybreak. Knowing that I wouldn't see you again till the next one cause you worked late. So I'd go to school boasting that my dad's a jet setter, which you were. You were like seasons, you became a Christmas father till you stopped showing up at Christmases, birthdays, graduations, and my siblings' recitals. Morning devotions lacked a commanding voice and you holding that massive Bible. I started to notice lines form on Mama's face. And in the silence of the night I heard the floor embrace her tears. In the morning a smile on her face like it was me who had a nightmare. So I thought it was all in my head. Till my head made sense of all the phone calls in my native language which helped me pick up keywords to make me realize it was because you were not here. And I've been picking up words, signs, and pieces all these years, and with your face now in front of me, the puzzle's now complete. You look well, unfortunately. Tell me, who is she? See, she's smiling like she's happy you are here for the sake of the younger ones who cannot remember you in the first place. That's right. Right now, you serve as an image of another man who's added to the generation of those raised by a single mother. Years of a lacked presence in which I doubt my siblings will ever recover, but I'm definitely over. When I was younger, my relatives would say to me, you know, the man of the house is what you have to be. But a child is what I was supposed to be. And where I was supposed to be was in a playground with friends, or in front of a TV with friends, because reality had no place in my childish mind. So you see, you inspired the premature dad in me. When I watched TV, all I could think of was this masculine legacy I had to represent. And suddenly dramas became relevant. Until this day, the scars of the sagas I've been through are evident. Proof of your ignorance exists in me as a living testament. My diligence a bona fide proof of your malpractice. They say we should live by example, right? And yours definitely helped me to rewrite my scripts. I'm sure to never ever play your part to reenact this, but why are you here? It's too late to apologize. Don't even try. The only words I want to hear from you are goodbye, like you should have said back then, cause it hurt to watch Cause it hurt to watch programs where people got paid to pretend to be in your shoes, and yet in the fast you find brethren. It confused me as a kid to see my friends as complete families. Or more specifically, see my friends running into the arms of the same smiling man every day after school who did nothing but completely engage them. And when you did call to say hi and force some insight into my ears, I'm sure you guessed from my tone that I didn't really care. Because everything you were trying to teach me about family affairs, I'd learned years ago. Thanks to a family from Bel Air. And speaking of affairs, it's obvious you handled yours poorly. Surely you had your time to be foolish when you were young, just like me, but unlike me, because the reality I lived prevented foolishness from manifesting. When mother gave me money to treat myself, I applied self-learned knowledge of investing. Because mama didn't raise no fool. And I made it obvious too, so girls couldn't catch me with them summertime grins. I'd only hold their hands if it felt like it deserved a ring. If it didn't, I had no problem in saying we should just be friends. I wasn't trying to sow seeds in fields that wouldn't meet my ends, nor did I gangbang. I wasn't trying to meet my end or repeat a trend. The only trend we share is DNA. They say blood is thicker than water. But I got myself baptized and born again to escape my paternal disorder. Because my relatives would say to me, you look just like your father. And I'd agree. Because I was born in his image. But not in your frame. See, I got hooked on fitness and spinach. Mother fed me green so I could go the distance, but not as far as you went. See, home is where the heart is. And hearts, And cartoons taught me that heart symbolized love, so I spent my whole childhood wondering, how could you be so heartless? See, she raised me to be different from you. And as a woman, all she could do was teach me what other women expected men to be and do to be in tune with the wants of the clan. Because no man is an island once he has a fam. Sunday school taught me to respect both parents in order to prosper. But I had one. So I felt rather for happily ever after. But I'm a man now. Or rather, we're men now. And men don't bear grudges, right? So don't get me wrong, I don't hate you. We became products of our environments, and as a result, we became strong. We didn't turn to drugs or thievery. We were too busy being young fathers. See, they had no one to turn to. So we let our ears get told things you were supposed to hear. Because we didn't want her thinking as a man didn't care, bearing the roles that we weren't ready to bear. And because of them, we learned early on to face facts and fears, but here's where the problem lies. At the top. If you make jokes about your sons being your husbands and men of the house, please stop. Because your son will laugh, but take that joke to heart. He will observe his surroundings, and with reference to society, he will determine if his father plays his part. See, jokes are dangerous to the minds of impressionable youth. Mother may smile when she says them, but behind laughing eyes lie the soulful truths that he's not here. The little man will believe big man doesn't care. Like I said, we're men now. And here's where it ends. So, no more forcing our sons to fill men's shoes, or forcing their innocent eyes to see harsh truths. Be the rock that they can stand on. Be still and never move. Let your children be children, and learn about being a man, woman, father, or mother from you when the time is due. So many of us never got to be kids. We were forced to make do. But we've learned our lesson. So our kids never have to.
I'm gonna get a great job without him. I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm having me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids.